As one of the lesser known but nonetheless vital precious metals, platinum has a long history of being used for jewelry and ornamentation, reaching back to the ancient
What's
Egyptian
up? Can you hear
Empire,
me?
having been discovered on a coffin unearthed in Thebes, estimated to be from the 7th century BC. Platinum is a metal that represents power,
Right on,
prestige,
brother.
and a sense of great accomplishment. It has come to symbolize a high level of status in society, as evidenced by top tier credit cards and membership programs using its name. But platinum is so much more than just a status symbol. Modern day uses of platinum include being a key element in catalytic converters for vehicles, as it converts car exhaust gases into less harmful substances, as a catalyst in the chemical industry, and even in the creation of life saving anti cancer drugs. But that's just scratching the surface. On today's episode, we explore this exclusive metal that befuddled miners and scientists alike when it was first discovered. Dubbed platina or little silver by the Spanish
That's my cat's
conquistadors,
name.
the truth is, it's so much more than meets the eye. Time to dig into platinum on commodity culture. Platinum is a gray-white precious metal, and one of a group of 6 elements known as the platinum group metals. The other metals in the group are iridium, osmium, palladium, rhodium, and ruthenium. Platinum is the most common of the group
I
and
love the
sees the
platinum
most
group's
use.
medals.
Platinum's atomic number is 78. It has an atomic mass of 195 units, a melting point of 1768 degrees Celsius, and is resistant to corrosion, stable at high temperatures, and has stable electrical properties. The name platinum comes from the Spanish word platina, basically translating to little silver. This somewhat derogatory word was coined by Spanish conquistadors in the 16th century, as they had no idea of platinum's uses or true value, and
Now, see what they're saying here. The conquistadors in the 16th century, that's 1500s when they were in Central America around the Columbia area. They found this substance, they labeled it platina, little silver. It couldn't melt. They couldn't smelt it down because they had to get up 1700 degrees Celsius. Their fires weren't hot enough. So they threw it off to the side. And again, I see so many of these stories where they just roll over. Oh yeah, platina, the Spanish discovered it in the 1600s in Central America, blah, blah. But there's no platinum mines in Central America. Yet it was discovered to the Western world in an area where they have no platinum mines. That crap just blows me away. I don't understand. I do not understand. If anyone can help me, help me figure it out, I'd appreciate it because I have no clue whatsoever what's going on. But there has got to be a uh, a platinum vein down there, a placer mine vein like they have in Montana, at least for the Spanish in the 1500s. They didn't have digging technology. Platinum veins, if it's not in a placer mine scenario, platinum veins are 500 yards underground. They didn't have mining technology back then to get to it. So there's got to be surface platinum in the ground in Columbia area somewhere. I don't know where. I don't know how. I'd love to find it though. That'd be awesome. What's up, Vegas? You want to come up on stage? I just pinned it. If anyone wants to come up on stage, this is a quick throw some shit out there. Yeah, about platinum because I saw that thing that Rafi Favre did. Rafi Favre, whatever. He traded 34 silver for 1 ounce of platinum. I mean, if you know anything about the precious metals, that is a deal of a lifetime. 34 silver ounces for 1 ounce of platinum. It's remarkable. And if you haven't gone and seen Ralphie Faber since, if you don't want to believe me on the platinum thing, he has a good little chart. No, right on, no big deal, man. What kind of work do? You a dealer? Actually, I'm getting a job next week. Should last 3 to 4 months. Should be more than enough to get me down to Northwest Florida, Southeast Alabama, build my lightning crystal box. Plus get a couple kilos. Yeah, get a couple kilos of silver and some more ounces of platinum. And some more crystallized osmium. Because I actually do what I say. Which is buy silver, platinum, and crystallized osmium. And I buy all of that. And hopefully here shortly, within the next few weeks, we'll have those earrings and nose rings available for sale. They'll probably have them up on Long Live Coins auction and see if JM can off some. What's up, Mark? So what's this live stream you're talking about, brother? Oh, my live stream. Oh, okay. Cool. Is it Wednesday? It is Wednesday. It's not Thursday. Okay, yeah. No, that's right. I had my business agent called me up. He just left the meeting. And the dude said that he was going to hire 12 iron workers because they're building a Costco up in Napa. It's like 7 miles north of me, which makes a reverse commute in the last 3 to 4 months. So I was like, sweet. Almost a perfect job, except for it's going to be hot. But it is what it is. I've been doing this shit 30 years. Oh, God, I'm sick of it. But hopefully this will be the last year. Yes, Art. Actually, believe it or not, Long Live Coins and myself talk on the phone along with Ian, because Long Live Coins and myself pretty much are the first two people that ever interviewed Ian on crystallized osmium. Yeah, Mark Cassidy. That job lasted 1 week because I got it done way too fast. They had like 3 apprentices, 2 journeymen, and myself, and we were supposed to put on these like railroad tires, not tires, they're steel. They weighed 6,000 pounds, and we had to put 8 of them on this device, and we had to. How the company had bid it was to chain fall it up, which means you need 4 chain falls because there's one centralized pin that held all of them on. So because I got so much experience and I didn't want to fuck around with stupid shit, I got it. They gave us like, it was a 5 days to do all 8 of them, and I got them all done in 1 day. And then they ran out of shit for me to do, so they paid me for the week and laid me off on the 3rd day because we did clean up on the 2nd day because we finished too early. Yeah, I work too fast sometimes. You take care, Vegas. Be safe, my friend. Yeah, there was no other streams going, so I figured I'd kick one out. See who shows up. Looks like we got 4 people. And you guys are actually it's kind of, hey, what's up, Pete? Oh, Pete, my man, Pete. That is, everyone say hello to Pete, the Sasquatch Economic Ninja's newest moderator and friend of Travis and myself. And Gandalf, if you heard Gandalf said hello to you. Yeah, it was Mark Cassidy. Hopefully, this Costco will be right on the Napa River, so it won't change too much. So it'll be 7 miles north. And reverse commute. Not that Muir Island job was any commute whatsoever, but I hear you, Gandalf. Yeah. That's my Russian blue Gandalf the Grey saying meow meow. Meow meow. He's got such a distinct, him and my black cat have very distinct meows. Yeah, I don't know if you guys can hear that. I don't see how you couldn't have heard that one. What's up, Mr. Loudmouth? You want the kitty brush? So I got the link pinned for anyone who wants to come up and chit chat. Got up to 90 degrees up here today. I was outside 4 different occasions, watering down the sidewalk so I could walk around barefoot, not burn my feet. I do that as a test. If I can't walk out, hey, what's up, Annie? If I can't walk out on the sidewalk in bare feet without burning my feet, I hit water and cool it down because I don't anticipate any animal to walk on something that hot if I won't walk on it. Which is kind of cool for me, bad for the animals because a lot of people walk animals and don't think about that. By the way, people, when you walk your animals, please consider take your shoes off, socks off, and walk on the ground. If you can't handle it, your dog cannot handle it either. Just food for thought. Yeah, I found my stuff. That's why I've got this going. I lost this. Not lost it. I misplaced it. And if you're wondering what it is, oh, there we go. Hold on. There we go. That's these ones right here. All these loose ones down at the bottom. Oh, yeah, these ones here. Those I created all of those. They're 100% feminized seeds. They're actually worth like $12 a piece. But I don't sell them. I give them away because I'm a nice guy like that. But I found them because when I planted the stuff that I have this year, I put them in this bag because I was like, I didn't want to lose them because they were separated, and then I didn't remember what I did with them. And then just last night, I got this large, freaking thick ass margarita glass. It's about a foot tall. It's about a 1/4 inch thick of glass, and I got some stuff in it. And the cats knocked it over on the floor. It woke me up, and damn sure enough, that's where the seeds were. And the reason why I set them there is because I don't drink. And I figured if I set them in the margarita glass, I'd never look there, and I damn sure didn't. But the cats brought it to my attention, so I'm glad of that. I got about 150 feminized seeds before I have to worry about making some more. It's always a blessing, especially the type of weed that I created. That seed style, not the one seed bag that you guys sell, but the apple dumpling or whatever. There's 3 seeds, but the 100 or so seeds are mine. I blended Purple Haze and Granddaddy Perp, and I crossbred them, seeding them. And then when I got what I liked, I bred it for 2 years, and then in the 3rd year, I knew it was good to go. So I went ahead and I seeded and got feminized seeds, and that's what those are. It's like 5 years of work getting those seeds. But they're guaranteed female. I guarantee you that. Every seed I've given away has been guaranteed female. And the seeds I buy that say feminized that I pay $12 for, they're about 70% female, 30% male. You get 10 of them for $120. 3, 4 of them will be male. There's just human greed added into business is what that is. No, I haven't done any of that stuff. I've also, while I was beekeeping, people were telling me to do THC honey, infused honey, because it was a big thing at the time. And I was like, nah, I don't want to do that either. I'll organically like make different things seed and then crossbreed through seeding. I'll do that, but I won't do like genetically altered or anything other than natural, which, even infused in honey with THC is not natural because you're infusing it. Because the bees don't naturally get, they don't go to weed plants, So, not naturally, anyhow. Basically, I'm a simpleton. I was born in Lancaster, Pennsylvania, in Amish Town, USA. I like steak and potatoes. I don't like decorated shit. I don't like gaudy stuff. That's like simple stuff. Uncomplicated. Easy to clean. What are you looking at, Andy? You want me to let you out there? Andy, I think there's a mouse out there. Is there a mouse out here? I'm gonna let you out. I'm gonna get that mouse. We're getting. I leave the door open for you. I have the bottom half of the house, or bottom part of the house is 2-story. I live on the first floor. I have it cut in half with one door, and I never let the cats on the inside. But there's a couple mice that moved in a couple weeks ago, and I think I got rid of them. But I just opened up the door between the two to let my cats out there, so that way the mice, if there's any left, will be smelling the cats, and that'll encourage them to leave. All right, Danny, come on. Come on, let's go. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. My cats, they come like dogs when I call them. It's funny. People say I think I'm crazy when I tell you I'm training attack cats. I'm not actually training them to be attack cats, but a couple of them would. Just because their natural attitude. A few of them definitely would attack you if you came into the house and were threatening to me. I know that just from their attitudes. Hey, you guys separate. Man, it is hot. Even at right now, it's like 80 some degrees. It feels like. Do I have a cool story? Probably, because I've not been high. Let's see. One story. Okay, I was at work. This is about. Oh shit! Paul was with me, so it was. Wow, it was 26 years ago, probably. As you go over the not Golden Gate Bridge, but the Bay Bridge into San Francisco, the first two high rise, well, not now, but at the time, the first two high rises you saw were two coming off the bridge into San Francisco, were two 22 stories that had really like pyramidal shaped roofs that were done in decking. And safety rules are you can't ride in a trash container or any kind of crane to transport you from one building to another. But we were at the very, very top. It was only me and Paul, and the only other person other than God that could see us was the elevator operator. And we had finished our work on Tower 1, had to go to Tower 2. And I didn't want to have to carry all of our shit. So I talked to the crane operator and letting us stick all of our equipment and supplies in this little skit or trash can type thing that they use to take things down off of the high rise. And I looked at him and I gave the signal of me and my partner getting in and him taking us to the other high rise. And he looked at me and laughed and gave me the go ahead. So we hopped in the little trash bucket on the 22nd floor, and he picked us up and flew us over to the next building, which was also a 22-story building. And not tied off or nothing, just inside a skid bucket. That's what they're called. They're technically trash cans, but they're tough. They're not breakable. It was a very safe transportation, but that was kind of cool riding in a trash can at about 230, 240 foot up in San Francisco. Then I got a story back in Charlotte, North Carolina. This was 30 years ago. We were at Charlotte, North Carolina. Me and my connected partner, Paul, was connecting steel back then. We had a 12-story to do. Yeah, pretty much, Pete. It's kind of sort of what I do. We were building a 12-story. It was a full city block with center courtyard. There was 3 tower cranes. and I was A team. I was the lead connector of the whole job site, and I had my prototype with me. We were on like the 9th and 10th floor, connecting them up on one first stage of the building, working on the weekend. And me and it was a 30-foot base, and me and my connecting partner Paul would take turns hitting the prototype, smoking some weed. And he threw me back the prototype, and I didn't catch it, and it went down and it hit the ground like 9 floors down. And a tree was coming in. What that is it's the line at the end of a tower crane or any crane, and it had 5 pieces of iron on it. I looked at Paul and said, Paul, you're hooking these 5 up by yourself. I need to climb that down on the outside of the building, off on the columns, go all the way down and pick it up, so that way no one would see that I left my work area. And it was on a Saturday, so not too many guys were working. So Paul stayed up there and started connecting the 5 pieces. Rusty, our crane operator, obviously, he saw. He saw a lot of shit, actually. But I started climbing down 9 floors on the outside of the building like Spider-Man on the column, just scaling the column all the way down. Got my prototype, took a hit of it, make sure it still worked, and then climbed all the way back up. And the second tree, the first tree I didn't connect, he connected. The second tree, I was up there again, and we connected like normal. Yeah, I got a lot of stories. But that was yeah, we also worked on the weekends, and when we weren't working on Charlotte, what was it? Damn, I wish I could remember the name of that job. Trans-American Square, downtown Charlotte, between 2nd and 3rd Avenue on Tryon Street. Tryon Street is the main street running downtown that there's 61-story buildings on. It's between 2nd and 3rd Avenue. It's called Trans-American Square. It's a 12-story. I built that whole son of a bitch. Oh shit. Oh wow. Wow. How many? A lot. One army base, the full army base. 12 Sterling, Charlotte. A warehouse, Aberdeen Proving Grounds. And then I came out here to California. I've done probably 12 high rises, being 30 floors or higher. Probably 35 buildings, 12 stories and higher, including the 30 and higher. And Transbay Terminal, which is downtown San Francisco. If you hop on Google Earth and you get on San Francisco, you see a big 5-block long section that looks like a park. It's actually a building, and that's the roof of it. It's called Transbay Terminal. I worked there for a couple of years doing the decking on that, but it's only like 50 foot tall, but it ran straight through the center of downtown. And actually it was 120 because it was 70 foot in the ground, underground, because the train was supposed to come through. So when we were decking on the bottom floor, it was 70 foot from the bottom, and then 90 foot, and then 110 foot. But it's only 40 or 50 foot above street level. I don't know. I've done more high rises as an iron worker than any living working iron worker in America. And as far as the high rises go, most of them, what I did was the metal decking, because let me put it this way. I know so much about metal decking on buildings that the Western District Council of the International Brotherhood of Iron Workers called me at my house in November 2019 and said, Neil, we need you to go to Hawaii and teach these boys about decking. And then they paid for me a ticket, and I went to Hawaii for about 6 weeks and taught the Hawaiians how to do my job. The International could have called anyone, but they called me because I'm the best. Literally the best at metal deck. I've done more. There was one time it was on the, what floor was that on? Oh shit, it was over the 40th floor. There was a 2-story jump, which I thought was kind of weird, but whatever. And the decking was loose on the 42nd floor. And there was a 2-story extension ladder. And I got to where it was downtown San Francisco. And I got to work early. about 4:35, and I heard this bam, bam, and this is, I mean, it was like, God, it was like freaking 400 plus foot in the air, and I still hear this bam, bam, and I, because of my experience, I know what it is. Some decker didn't secure the deck at the end of the day, and the wind had kicked up, and it started raining. Storm was moving in, and it was lifting up part of that deck with the wind and slamming it down, which was basically ripping away the rest of the welds, which means eventually the full piece, 30-foot long, 3-foot wide piece of deck would have flown off in the center of downtown fucking San Francisco, probably killed someone. And I ran to the job, and luckily the hoist elevator operator was there, and he heard it too, and he knew because he was an old timer. I was like, dude, take me all the way up there. I got to take care of this shit. But the hoist didn't go all the way. It only went to 40th. Didn't went to 42nd yet. So I had to grab a full 100-foot long welding lead. That shit weighs like 100 pounds. And I had to climb up a 2-story extension ladder in an 80-foot freaking wind. The ladder's fucking bowing big time. I got all this extra weight on me. If the fucking ladder blows me off, I'm pretty much dead. So I get up there and I have to coon the iron with this extra 100 pounds on me because the deckers started on the wrong side. Anyhow, I cooned about 30 foot, 20 foot, got to the deck, used the welding cable, wrapped it around the decking several times, tied it off because the generator hadn't started, so I couldn't weld it. And then I came back downstairs. It took me like an hour to do that. And the boss showed up, and I was like soaking ass wet, cut up, beat up. I looked at him and said, fuck it, I'm done for the day. I'm going home. And I started leaving, and I saw the hoist operator, telling him what I did. I never got in trouble, and I did get paid 8 hours that day. Ooh, here's another story too. It's called a dead man. When you take pieces of metal decking, they're like 25, 20, 30 foot long, and they have to have points of contact where they hit steel, right? If you pull it off the steel and throw another piece of decking on top of it, someone walks on it, it'll bow down and they'll probably get sent down to the next floor. We were decking, me and a couple buds, we were decking this one warehouse, and someone left, we call them widow makers. Someone left a widow maker, and we were cleaning up the deck, picking up all the extra pieces and piling them up one spot and whatnot. So I pick up this piece of deck that was covering up a piece of deck that didn't have what's called endo, or it wasn't, the end of the deck was not on the iron, and it didn't have a connection point to 8 foot away from that, which was the next piece of iron. So I picked up this piece of deck, and I go to take a step, and I step on this widowmaker, and to this day he still laughs when he tells the story. He tells the story, he was looking over at me, and I just went straight down to where he couldn't see me, and then I flew straight back up because I'm so lightweight, and I was carrying that other piece of deck. I went down to the other piece of deck, hit and landed flat on the iron, and the piece that I was standing on, the widowmaker, decided that I didn't have enough weight on me. As soon as that other piece of metal the weight got taken up by the steel because it hit, that it flexed back up and threw me out of the freaking hole. So I basically, instead of going down in the hole, I got thrown out of the hole. It's funny as shit. You had to be, it's funnier if you were there. It was about a 36-foot straight flat fall to concrete. I'd probably be in a wheelchair if I'd actually fallen. And that's another good story, but that's not what we're here for. We're here to talk about Pete the Sasquatch being the Economic Ninja's new moderator. Congratulations, my brother. So does anyone want to chit chat about anything else? I just basically want to talk about the silver to platinum ratio. I've talked about it for a couple of years, and no one's ever corroborated, what I say. And, I know what I'm talking about. I know I'm a smart guy and whatnot. And I'm just a little elated because Rafi Favre actually did a show on silver to platinum ratio. And he said, it is the best time in history to buy platinum. Just like what I've been telling people for 2 years. It's at a historic, never before seen level. So it's good validation that after about 2 years, other people are starting to see what it's been blatant for me to see for over 2 years. But everyone's tied up in gold, gold, gold. Yeah, no, platinum. And I think even Rafi, ooh, ice cream time. Well, I can see where you're gonna have to leave, Mr. Pete, because ice cream trumps talking to me online any day of the week, especially if it's vanilla. Well, what you need to do, art collectors, call Ian. Get a hold of Ian. Tell him Neil sent you. He'll give you a great price on platinum. I actually was running a sale on platinum. I was with Miles and Franklin, Arcadia Economics. It was like 65 over spot, but that deal's way gone. But Ian Ark, if you call him Arc Silver, he'll give you a good deal. Tell him Neil said to call him, and he wanted some platinum. And I don't know if he'll get you coins, but I know his bar prices like $40 over spot, $50 over spot. I mean, it's hella cheap. One of the cheapest out there. I mean, he's very, very reasonable on his prices. Very reasonable. Yeah, I politely walked away. We'll leave it at that. Everybody's still friends. I politely walked away because I do business a certain way, and I don't care if I'm hooking up with someone that can help me or not. I do business a certain way, and if you ain't gonna do business my way, we ain't gonna do business. And I don't care if you can help me out or not. That's just how it goes. I'm in charge. The only thing I'm in charge of is me, and I take total control of that. So that's that. Yeah. Tell Ian, fucking give me a commercial. Maybe I'll have to ask Ian if he can give me a special that I can make a commercial on. I just had dinner with the bassist slash keyboardist of Toro Di Noir, the guy I built the music studio for next door. His wife, myself, and he were out that barbecuing up some din din, and so I could easily make a commercial. His wife is a producer, music and video and commercial and movie. That's what she does for a living. And he does obviously audio work and pretty good at video. Of course, he borrows his wife's equipment, so how could he not be good? Yeah, when you call Ian and ask about some platinum, tell him you want Neil to have a platinum commercial, so to have him give me a discount code. But with Ian, it's more about the crystallized osmium because he's the only dealer that you can go to. Right on, my career. Don't snort it, bro. It's bad for you. There's a 180-degree difference between osmium and crystallized osmium. The osmium you get in a bar form probably has like zinc coatings so that no oxygen can get to it. Because if oxygen gets to osmium, it'll turn into a powdery form, and it puts off a vapor it's very irritating to your skin and bad for your lungs. So be very, very careful. Yeah, definitely. Actually, even though osmium is the eighth precious metal or eighth noble metal, it is hazardous to you, and it's rare ore form, or in bar form. Actually, could be if the coating gets compromised. It could. So it could be. It could be. Not that it is, but it could be somewhat hazardous. Not deadly or lethal, but somewhat hazardous. That's a good one, Mike. Well, as long as the pizza was good that you put it on, bro. It was an expensive topping. Yeah, I don't know after ingested, after it goes into powder form. I believe the hazardous part is while it's having its chemical change from solid to powder. In that process, I think is a what up, Gandalf? That's when it puts out the toxins after it goes in powder form. I don't believe it is, but it could be harmful if ingested. I have not researched that part of it yet. But I will look into it. Ice cream sounds good. Now I need to go get some ice cream, and the freaking stores are closed. Dag nabbit. I blame Pete making me think about ice cream. So, any topics anyone want to talk? Any topics anyone wants to talk about? This ought to be good. I'm gonna fuck with the yeah, PD. Check this out. Hold on a second here. And this is why it took a little while. Oh, nope, that's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to. I hear you, Gandalf. Meow, meow. Chinga. There we go. Ice cream, you scream, we all scream for ice cream. I had another good pick I wanted to rotate in. Which one was it? No, Gandalf. You gotta wait for the mouse to come over here. Huh, I guess I didn't. I thought it'd be good enough. Pictures of ice cream. Oh, from the Goonies. Rocky Road? Baby Ruth? You guys ever see the Goonies? It was a kick-ass movie from the 80s. Well, yeah, we'll just lay off those topics because that's the type of stuff they would probably censor. And we all know politics. Everyone's got an opinion. I just don't want to. Next administration. Yeah, it was Pete. I actually went up to that town. I want to call it Arcadia, but it's not. It's another name. It's right beside a town called Warrington, actually, up in Oregon, right on that river that separates Washington from Oregon. I was up there. I spent about 3 or 4 days up there. Oh, it's okay, Mike. It's quite all right. I just don't. I ran my channel for 2 years with either 1 or 2 strike, and I've pretty much gone past 6 months without any strikes. I did have last week or last Sunday my first part of the live stream taken down, but you can actually go back and watch it. They just took it down for, I think, copyright, but they didn't give me a strike or anything like that. And then, of course, this past Sunday, I restarted it. There are no facts until it's proven. That's why you never do anything in front of a camera, because then it's just word on word, and you can always beat that in court on reasonable doubt. But if they got pictures, you're pretty much screwed. And that's what makes kids these days have no freaking fun. The crap I did as a preteen, early teen, man, if there was video of that shit, every one of us kids would be in fucking federal prison right now for some of the crap we did, bro. We were playing, we literally made pipe bombs so that we could blow up sand because we didn't want to dig a foxhole. And we figured making a pipe bomb and sticking it in sand would make a hole for us and save us time. So we made several of them. Yeah. See, that shit gets you thrown in jail now if you have cameras and pictures of that. They'd be like, what? 36 Rugrats in jail. And the BB gun wars shooting at each other. Yeah. Nah. Cameras screwed up childhood. Let me tell you that. That's why you need to live away from everybody else if you're going to have kids. That way they can go out and really have a good time and they don't get a record for having a good time. I mean, who would throw a kid in this detention facility for cannonballing a couple alligators until environmentalists came along and said it was harmful to the alligator? Until then, it was fun. And quite frankly, that's how you clear them out of your swimming holes. First thing you freaking do is do a couple cannonballs, chase all the gators away so you can swim and not worry about them. Buffering. I would have a picture of Max Headroom. Let me get a picture of Max Headroom. Hold on a second. There we go. All right. Let me see here. Settings. Virtual background. Add. Ah, shit. I gotta redo it. Are we still buffering? Or is that just ice cream fell on your laptop? Be honest. No judgment. This is a no judgment zone. You can tell us if you dropped ice cream on your laptop. I wish that this freaking picture thing here would give me more room for the picture, because that's not the full picture. Max Headroom. What are you on the East Coast, Art? Could actually be solar flare activity. We've been having issues. Any electronic issues you've had over the past 2 to 3 weeks, it's been from solar flares, real powerful ones. Oh, you're in California. Oh wow, all three of us are in California. Huh. Well, that blows that theory out of the water. If you were on the East Coast, I'd throw a theory out. No, all three of us pizza in California as well. Probably the only reason why there's so few people here is they're all from California or Oregon or Washington, where it's 10 o'clock and not later on a weekday. Ooh, speaking of which, I'm getting a job next week. Yay! That means I'll be able to go down to Northwest Florida and build that lightning crystal box within the next couple of months. Get that project going. That'll be kicking. Because as soon as lightning strikes my lightning box 3 times, third time it strikes my lightning box, if it works, the Economic Ninja is going to do a live stream, because he told me while we were talking on the phone that if on the third strike, because he's kind of, he's skeptical, because of course no one's even talked about doing this kind of crap. I'm kind of weird that way. But if I can make it work, and it works 3 times, he said he would come down and do a live stream. He would fly down to my place, my buddy's place down there in Southeast Alabama, right by the Florida-Alabama line, and he would do a live stream from the location. You just had to choose the right ice cream, Pete. Your computer was really upset that you almost went with chocolate fudge. That's not a bad thing to do, Mike. That's part of being American, is what I thought that was. Here, hold my beer. Motherfucker, fuck off. Oh, sweet. Was that one that was who was it? It was a European space agency had to just use SpaceX as their third backup to get a cargo into outer space a couple days ago. So that's probably not that launch. Eli's looking at doing, I think, 30 or 60 launches a year. That guy's going to be rich than he is now. Oh, I hope this is a picture of the takeoff. Yeah, right on, Pete. Yeah, Pete just sent me a picture of the tape of the SpaceX launch he was talking about there. It looks like a comet, actually, kind of, sort of, a little bit wide on the tail, but comet-esque. You need to be a little bit more specific, art collector. You definitely, if you don't have a job, start a company. That's always better than working for someone else. Because once you get to know the theory of what your time is worth, someone is going to pay you. Say, let's say building a house, or no, yeah, okay, building a house, yeah, okay, you got a frame in a house. Someone's going to pay you to frame up that house, but they're not only going to pay you to do that, they're going to get paid enough to cover the workman's comp, the insurance, all of the equipment, and their profit margin. So every time you do a job for someone else, the only think of it like this: the only reason you're not working for yourself, other than because you're stupid, is because you don't want to take the time to get the licenses it takes to do the exact same job you're doing for someone else, but get paid 3 to 5 times more because you're doing it for yourself. And that's always been my perspective. Yeah, I haven't drank since 1996 myself. But that hasn't stopped me from telling people, here, hold this, and me taking care of business. As a matter of fact, people don't ask. Iron workers don't ask Neil, do this. Oh, no. That's crazy. Here's a story for you. There was a 12-story hotel in Oakland, California. And about the 8th floor, there was top of another building. It was about 6 foot apart. And there was a dead bird there, and I had to work there. And I was like, I didn't want to work fucking 6 to 8 foot away from a dead bird. So I jumped from one building to another at the 8th floor with about a 6 foot, spacing between the buildings, moved the dead bird, and then jumped back. People thought I was crazy. I was like, what? what's crazy? It's only 6 foot. You can't jump 6 foot. And for some reason, everyone was like concerned about the 8 floors. And I was like, why are you thinking about that? That's not you shouldn't have your mind on that. You should have it on the 6 foot that you're going to make. And then I determined that, it was just another nail in the coffin of thought processes of people making them failures or successes. And what I saw was of a 6 foot gap was just a 6 foot gap. Everyone else saw as an 80-foot fall. And I was like, wow, okay, wow. We're definitely on different levels here. I didn't get fired. The superintendent put up a good fight for me. Contractor wanted to fire me. But again, I'm an expert decker and they needed me. So I could over time doing what I do, I for a while I could really, until insurance started clamping down hard and heavy, I could get away with a lot of shit because who I was and what I knew. Not so much nowadays, and cameras are everywhere. And that sucks. That's even worse. But whatever. Makes the jobs go slower, and I don't care. Well, Pete, it's not even, I didn't even see it as a risk. It was only a 6 foot jump, whether it was 1 foot off the ground or 1,000 foot. It was only a 6 foot jump, easily made by any normal human. Could have I mean, unless your mind focuses on something other than what you need to do, if you start thinking, oh, I might fall, well, then you're already fucking yourself. Because you shouldn't be thinking that. Because that's not going to happen. It's only 6 foot. You can easily do it. Just do it. You know, it's a thought process. I don't know. Maybe that's why I still like doing iron. But whatever. After this job, this is probably, hopefully, it'll be my last job doing iron. If I can work 3 or 4 months and take 1 year disability, put in my early retirement, and I should already be in Alabama. Because if I can get that 1 year disability after working for 4 months full time, with the amount of money that we do make, it would qualify me for full disability, which is like $3,600 every 2 weeks. And I could definitely use that year of $7,200 a month as a transition year into another trade. Ooh, Rocky Road. I would go for the Moo track personally. But I've already had chocolate chip cookies tonight, so I've already had my chocolate fix, Pete. And by the way, Pete just sent me a picture of Rocky Road and another style. Yeah, that's exactly why, because the disability is used, unless you want to stay doing iron, you take that year and you transition into something else. And since I've already got, I hear you, Gandalf, since I've already got the crystallized osmium earrings and nose rings, yes, Gandalf, going within 6 months, it should take off. I should be doing decent with that, and I'll have other products coming out as well. And if I'm getting the state disability for a year, that 1 year, I mean, the house that I'm looking at is going to cost, it's like 2 bedroom, 1 bath on 13 acres. It's going to be, what, let's see, less than $1,200 a month. And that's if I put no money down. It'd be like 160,000, 170,000 for 13 acres, 2 bedroom. I'll have to do a little remodeling, but at 3,600 every 2 weeks, remodeling won't be nothing. And it'll be closer to the lightning crystal idea that I got going there. Actually, it's only 6 miles down the exact same road. So it'll be very convenient to operate that for a year. And I should be able to perfect that thing and get so many other things going, making money off of that, that I should be able to transition out of ironwork permanently. And then after that year, put in for early retirement and walk away. And then hopefully from that, I'll launch a couple other ideas. And since Bay Minette is just northeast of Mobile, Alabama, and Mobile, Alabama's fixing to, in the next probably 4 to 5 years, or a little less maybe, they're going to have some extra space in their ports. And they built probably 20 years ago a steel mill north of Mobile to help provide steel for all the Navy warships that this port of Mobile was building. So they've got a large port and a large facility for boat building there, and they're downscaling the amount of military boats being built, which will leave a lot of extra dock space, warehouse space for building boats. So I'm going to try and kick off my catamaran design and use space that will be available at Mobile Harbor during a bad part of the economy. So hopefully I can get, rent free or tax free for 5 years and rent free for 1 year, make some sort of deal with the city and the county and occupy that space, hire a couple of locals, and kick off my catamaran design boat building, and it be close to the house. And then get some land in the north, central, eastern part of Alabama, a couple 100 acres, and start a Renaissance fair. That'll be further away from the house, but I won't have to go up there but once a year, so that'll be cool. And then I could retire after about the second or third year of the Renaissance Fair going. Because that ought to bring in anywhere between 100,000 and a little over $1 million a year in profit. And I'll still have the jewelry sales and making going. So I should be okay. And if not, age 62, I collect Social Security, and it's like $2,500, $2,400, $2,300, something like that. And that in my early retirement throws me into $3,000 a month, which more than covers any fucking little small mortgage I have. And that's if I totally fail out and not successful in anything. I'll still be able to keep that 13 acres and 2-bedroom house. So, yeah. Worst case scenario, I have a slight win. I'll own a house and 13 acres. Decent case scenario, I'll be a multimillionaire. Who knows? Only the shadow knows. But I can tell you what, I have 2-minute lightning strike videos, one a week, like 4 a month, or maybe 2 a month, and I get 1 million views. That's a big paycheck from freaking YouTube. 1996, August 26th is when I got here. I lived in Concord. It wasn't San Francisco. San Francisco is actually on the other side of the bay. I lived on the East Bay. It's Ironworkers Local 378. And then at Treasure Island, it changes over to San Francisco, and that's 377 local. And I didn't want to join that local. And I also lived in Concord, which is in the East Bay, right by Walnut Creek, Pleasant Hill, that area. I lived there for like 5 years. And then I moved to the North Bay, which is Vallejo. But I've been right by the water on East Bay or the North Bay. Like right now, if I walk outside, I can see the Napa River convergence with the Delta, and the actual north part of the bay is right outside, probably like 300-400 yards away from my house. I was born in East LA. Hey man, you got your green card? No man, I was born in East LA, bro. Sorry, I don't know if you knew about that. It's a Cheech and Chong skit. Probably came around probably before you were born. Yeah, but if you haven't seen it, you need to see it, man. Get stoned and watch that movie. Oh my god, man. Watch any Cheech and Chong movie. Holy cow, you'll be rolling. I actually saw Chong. He after they broke up, he went into glass blowing, and then he went back to doing some stand-up. And there was a place in San Francisco right by Pier 1 where they let you off at, where the clock tower is at. If you go to the right and across the street, there's like this whole mall, 3-story mall complex that spans several city blocks. And somewhere in that complex, they have a comedy bar where you buy dinner. There's like seats maybe 110. It's a small venue, but you have to buy dinner and drinks a certain number. It's not inexpensive at all because it limits the amount of people. Obviously, you have to charge more. But we had a table up front when Chong was doing a stand-up one night. It was pretty fun. I pulled a little heckle. Obviously, correct timing, and made the show better. It worked out for him in his comedy routine. I just instantly took the heckler role. Didn't get a free dinner out of it, but I did get a free drink. Coke. Because I didn't drink. My buddy took the liquor. Wow, that cat really wants out. You really wanted that bad, big man? Look at it. It's all you, big boy. That's probably not much. Well, it probably was back then a lot better. Right now, I think I don't know, man. LA or wow, Seattle. That's a tough one. Which one to take? Yeah. I don't know. I think I'd take LA. Sorry. Seattle really sucks, bro. It totally sucks, man. Uh oh. Uh oh. Like Killer Harley. Oh, I should be videotaping this. Gandalf was the first one to take off in the new part of the house, and then Dixie went, and then Gandalf realized they had the door open. He came running in, ran straight in, to fucking took over like he owned that part of the house. And now I've got Silver walking in very cautiously because he's the younger male I have, sniffing it out. Yeah, you guys go find that mouse. Bring him back to me. I got 4 killers I just set loose on a mouse. That guy ain't standing a chance. What's up, Dixie? Yeah, I don't recall what got me into metals. All I know is that I was into crypto first. Actually, I do know what got me into metals. Crypto. Last halving, so it's been 4 years, and it's been about 2.5 years to 3 years that I've been stacking. Because the crypto community kind of kicked me out. Because I don't know if you can tell. Hey, what's up, Homestead? I do a lot of research on all kinds of stuff just to keep my brain stimulated, and so I pretty much don't seem like an idiot when someone talks to me. Uh, and I did that with crypto too, but it was more focused because I had something to study on, which was the crypto. And as I did all my studies and all this crap on the crypto, because I was a head moderator of one of the larger, the guy had like 80,000 subscribers, and I was moderator for his channel because I had all the information. I bring it to him, and everything led me to silver. And I started questioning the crypto crap. And then I got hacked in the T-Mobile Coinbase hack, and I lost a couple thousand, well, several, actually more than several thousand. I lost, I was involved with the hack, lost some money. Kind of said fuck crypto, and took all the knowledge I learned while I was learning about crypto, and I just said fuck. Started buying some silver, and I really looked at silver because I wasn't looking at crypto and discovering silver. I started actually looking at silver, and I was like, holy fuck, why are people not looking at platinum? And that was about 3.5 years ago. And I had to stay saying for over 2.5 years. I'd come into anyone's show, and all I would write is buy silver and platinum. And then about a year ago, a little less than a year ago, 9 months or so, I got introduced to crystallized osmium, and I see the same potential. So I added the saying buy silver, platinum, and crystallized osmium because I see value in all three of those. But the greatest winner will be the platinum group metals, crystallized osmium and platinum, mostly platinum. I stock up on cat and dog food, make sure I got several months. If I have 6 months of food, it's going to be for my animals. Because I couldn't live with myself if I didn't take care of my responsibilities. And once I get down to Alabama, I ain't gonna be concerned about food at all. I grew up down that way, man. And I know Perry's Seafood is closed, but they still have a dock and they still got fishing boats that come in. And I still know that where to get the crabs at, where to get the crawfish at, where to get the gators at. I know where to get the deer and the hog at. So yeah, I ain't gonna worry about food once I get down there. And mullet. Forgot about the mullet. Oh, Pete, if you weren't a moderator, I'd time you out for mentioning it again and rubbing it in as you have ice cream and we don't. Well, I just haven't gone upstairs and got my ice cream. I actually do have ice cream. Dude, serious talk here. If you truly are concerned and believe that we're going to come to a time, a shit hits the fan style of scenario, build yourself an outdoor pizza oven and buy fresh as possible the 1 gallon cans of the pizza sauce and go to like Dino's food service. They sell the most of the like Domino's, Krusty's, or whatever, most of the fast Pizza Hut, whatever. They sell all their product, and the way they get their pizza sauce, it stores for like 5 or so years. So you can get several gallons of pizza sauce, just load up on flour and yeast. And the pepperoni, man, that shit, you don't even have to freeze. You don't have to refrigerate pepperoni. And you could be making pepperoni pizza left, right, and center in bad times. And anyone who makes food makes money. And I'll give you a practical, real world example. It's a historic example no one talks about because everyone's confused and your all brains go, ooh, gold, gold, gold. But during the Great California Gold Rush from 1849 to 1855, I'm gonna put down who made the most money. Who do you think made the most gold? Who got the most gold when they were in the California Gold Rush from 1849 to 55, in 1849 to 1855? You'll never be able to guess it if you don't know history. Wrong. Nope, not shovel sellers, not even close. And not the miners, not Levi. A lady who insisted, as her family was coming out to the gold mining district, you had to go over the passes, horse buggy. A lot of people left their shit getting over those mountains. This one family, the lady was very stubborn, would not allow her family to discard her sewing machine. That is the best thing they ever did, because she got every miner that made gold brought to her their tent, their jeans, their hats that needed sewing. And she was busy 24/7, 365 making gold. And no other people out there were making as much gold as she did with a sewing machine. That's a historical fact. I mean, other than now, yeah, some guys discovered 10-pound rocks, 1,000-pound rocks, once in a lifetime discoveries. Yes, but that's a disqualifier. Most 99% of the people did not, and they had to work their ass off for the little bit of gold they got. Because another thing about history is they say it was the 1949 gold rush. It's a big ass lie. The Orientals, the Mexicans, and the Russians were there in 1845, 46, 47, taking even more gold. And then the Western American gold miner wannabes came out in 1848, 49. But there was miners out here of all denominations and races 3 to 4 years before the quote unquote, the Americans came out here. I don't know anything about the wives. Typically, most of your miners had families or they were single men. And if they had families, they already had wives. And most of the guys were successful before they came out here. Not too many. I don't know. Maybe they had good lives, but after they died, their family didn't enjoy any wealth. Other than that, no one really made any money on the gold. It was the people who already had money that made money, and that seamstress. The shovel companies that kept providing the shovels, because you got, I mean, look back, it was 1850s, man, there was gunfights and shit all the time, people getting bushwhacked. Here's a good story for you, Mike. My mom's best friend, Miss Keelan, and that's not her real name. She's 100% Mexican from the Chihuahua province of Mexico. And she had a recipe. She used ground beef for her tacos. It took 4 hours to cook that meat. The meat cooked obviously quicker, but they would like drain out the oil and the fat, put the fat back in, and then add the tomato paste and a little bit of water, not stir it, but put it on a low broil until it naturally broke apart on its own. And add like cumin, chili powder, a little bit of salt, pepper, and one other spice. I got the recipe. And it took and they let it simmer, and they wouldn't stir it in. They just put these spices and shit on top. And just in a low simmer, put the cap on the pan, so like broil, I guess, on the low for about 4 hours. And then she would grill up the taco shells and grate up the cheese, cut the tomatoes, the onions, the lettuce. And then 5 minutes later, after my 12th taco, I was ready for more. Because, man, 4 hours of smelling that shit before you can eat it just kills you. We had taco Wednesdays every Wednesday for like 8 years. Right on, the Chihuahua province. Right on. Then you could. Then I will eat your homemade taco, because that's the recipe I have is from a family from the Chihuahua province of Mexico, and I don't know her Mexican name, but Mr. Keelan married her. She was 100% Mexican citizen, Mexican family. Actually, my parents adopted their 2 kids because both Navy families and school timing, station timing didn't work out. So we adopted them for like 9 months to get them into American schools before they came back to America permanently, so that their oldest son would be in the same high school for all 4 years or some shit like that. But anyhow, they're actually my half brother for about both her sons were my half brothers for about 9 months legally. Chihuahua. Poor little doggies. Paris Hilton needs to hide her little puppy, or else we're going to make some tacos. And the thing is, though, with the meat, if they ever had extra meat, the next night would have what Miss Keelan called pizza tacos, where she'd fry the shells flat and then put the meat on top and a little bit of cheese, stick it in the oven, pull it out, and then you put the rest of the tomato, lettuce, whatever, guacamole sauce, whatever, and you'd eat it like a pizza, basically. I call it a pizza taco. Pete. So what happens when you talk about food? You get hungry. I'm hungry. I'm going to eat. Get in my belly. I think it's from Gold Member and Mini Me. And the character portrayed, I believe, from Mike Myers was the Big Fat Bastard. Yeah, there's so many things throughout the week. I write shit down to talk about, and then I can't write the list of shit that I was going to talk about. But I am glad that, thank God, those things I was getting sick of them because they got in my way of doing my 2 emojis after saying buy silver, platinum, crystallized osmium. I put the goat and the peace sign. And when they had those the pride emojis on, I'd had to fucking scroll down, and the scrolling, it flipped it too far, so then I have to use the fucking up and down button, and it took longer to get to where I wanted, to where before I just click on it and it was at the bottom right, and it was a lot quicker. Yeah, a major inconvenience. Damn it. Dude, man, I don't like Taco Bell, bro. Wow. I don't think I'd touch that shit, man. That shit set my throat on fire. I remember when I did drink, I liked the sours, like a whiskey sour, amaretto sours on ice. Oh, those were the drinks I remember. Boy, howdy, it sucks big time. That's when you go down the store and get yourself a little pastry or something. I'm looking weird. I go to Costco and I get the big $35 packages that's like 6 pounds of meat, 5 pounds of meat. But that's my dog's food. And then meat I get's down at the farmer's market from the local rancher who I've known for 15, 16 years. And I eat the local grass-fed, no GMOs, antibiotics, any of that crap. I mean, limited it, not overdoing. He does use antibiotics, but it's not like force feeds him antibiotics. The typical, not antibiotics, well, I guess it would be antibiotics or vaccines that they normally got before autism kicked in. Oh, I love eating meat, dude. Cheeseburgers, steak, taco. I don't, and here's, man, that's what I need to do. I need to, hold on, I need to write this shit down. I've seen this article twice in my studies. It's where scientists discovered, let's see, plants that talk. There we go. I had to write that down. I got to look that one up. And I've known about it since 2012. But yeah, plants are alive. They talk to each other. And down in Zambia, for a fact, the mango trees, or not, it's not the mango trees. It's another tree down there. Scientists have proven elephants love this tree. But once an elephant strips the leaves from one branch of the trees, scientists have proven, and this is badass, that they change the chemical structure of the leaf. The tree does this fast. And it takes its leaves from being a sweet tasting to the elephant to the next bite the elephant tastes, it'll be bitter. And it also sends off pheromone signals to the trees next to it that are of the same species, and they automatically turn their leaves to tasting bitter, and that's how they save themselves from being eaten alive by the elephants. Because yeah, I know that's the one I got taken down. Art, because plants talk to each other. They're everything has life. So to say, oh, I only kill plants and listen to them. All right, Pete, thank you very much for stopping by, brother. But it's a proven scientific fact and has been for over 10, probably 15 years, that plants are literally alive. They feel pain, they communicate, and they do chemical warfare. It's amazing. Life is. But vegans will never tell you that, because then they'll have to say that they're actually cannibals. Well, not cannibals, but well, worse than that, because they eat plants alive. This meat's dead when we eat it. so I guess in reality, being a vegetarian is literally worse. But you have to be open-minded enough to and understand facts and science-proven facts that plants are alive. They do chemical warfare, and they communicate, and they feel. That's life. So, power to the plant, tree huggers. Well, there's a mycelia network in the soil, and it is from a fungi system. And every human being has the same mycelia network underneath the layer of their skin. And here's something very interesting. That exact mycelia network that's underneath our skin and underneath the soil is also on asteroids and on other planets that they've tested. Isn't that freaky weird? Huh. Yeah. Yeah, it is freaky weird. Yep. Yeah, that's freaky weird. In other words, we're from space. We're space dust, dude. We're space dust, dude. And I think I have a great one. Oh, here it is. Oh, and it's not going to let me. Damn you. Oh, I hate that. Let's see. I'll read it off anyhow. I won't be able to add the picture for you to see it, but maybe I might. Let's see how much this saves. Yeah, there we go. I think you can see that. A little knowledge of science makes you an atheist. In-depth knowledge of science makes you a believer in God. Louis Pasteur. That's why I like science. Everyone says, that's atheism. No, it's not. The more you know, the more you realize there is a great creator. It is so much greater than us. Because we have something in us that is in asteroids and on other planets and in our own planet. And it's in us. Wow. Yeah. As I learn shit, I get stupider and stupider because everything I learn, I get 10 extra questions. Okay, art collector. Epsom salt, obviously, everyone knows the benefits of Epsom salt. So it bruises, it relaxes muscle, other stuff, constipation issues, whatever, eases all that stuff. But if you add in hot water baking soda with the Epsom salt, it actually removes, and I say hot water because then you have open cells on your skin. Your skin's got to have open cells, and hot water obviously does that. And the Epsom salt and baking soda combo helps pull out heavy metals from your body. So if you're concerned about like my mom was concerned about what was that she was concerned about in her underarm deodorant? It was I think aluminum. I think it was entering into your skin through the underarm deodorant was actually discovered as cause of dementia. And so if you use baking soda and Epsom salts in a hot water soak, that it pulls that out, for example. So you'll obviously live a little bit healthier. Yeah, and then of course if you're into the aromatherapies, then you do like the Dr. Scholl's aromatherapy stuff for the Epsom salt, and you add aroma to the therapeutic bath that you're taking. And it is therapeutic because it's Epsom salt, which is like football players, boxers, all sports people take Epsom salt baths just for aches and pains of muscles and joints. But then, like I said, you add the baking soda to it, and it adds the extra benefit of not only relaxing you and whatnot, and helping out your muscles and easing pain and helping with bruising. It detoxes you from heavy metals. So if like you take 3 baths a day for the rest of your life, and you add Epsom salt, baking soda, you probably will have none of the medical side effects of having too many heavy metals into your body. And if that's just one less thing your body has to worry about, then your body and its natural immune system can worry about other things, and therefore, it'll probably perform better, and you'll probably live longer, therefore, because of it. Along with the diet, if you eat real food and not synthetic food, for lack of a better word off the top of my head, uh, you'll probably live longer because, you know, you are what you eat. And if you eat crap, then, you know, you have crap health. Frequencies are very interesting, Mark Cassidy. I have on and off researched them. My first interest being well over 35 years ago, probably longer than that. When I saw not like shotgun or was it black powder on a white piece of paper on top of a bass speaker, and you do different notes and it forms geometrical patterns and other shit. It's like, so I've been interested in that for quite some time. And then just the other day, there was a tones, or was it tone? Oh man, I wish I'd paid more attention to this. Something about a cancer. I think it was a colon cancer, and a sound wave or frequency that they use, and it only explodes the cancer cell at a certain frequency or some shit like that. Is it they're testing this stuff for cancer cells, and they're trying frequencies, using frequencies to basically tap into the exact frequency of a cell that you do or do not want to be able to explode it, you know. So and they're actually working on it, and they've discovered there's one type of cancer. They've discovered the frequency that they can use to hit your body with that frequency, and every cancer cell of that type of cancer just basically explodes in your body, and you're cancer free. There's also this other type of mono. Oh crap! I just saw an article again. I've seen several. Mono something. It's the way they're looking at cancer, and there's stomach cancer. They actually every patient they've worked on with this new way of looking at cancer, they've actually, and they use this word, they've actually cured of the stomach cancer. And they're looking at, man, I wish that it was a big word, mono something or other. Mono something or other cancer treatment. It's a new cancer treatment, mono something or other. And it's proven in the one type of cancer they're looking at, it's proven 100% cure rate. So new tech's coming around the corner, and frequencies are a big part of that. Of course, Tesla knew that. You know, my theory on that is about frequencies. Exactly what you just said, Mark Cassidy. Uh, Spirituality is a frequency, and it runs through all phases of life, and we are just now learning about frequencies. Hey, thanks very much, Mike, for being here, man. And we're just learning about frequencies and the value of them. I was actually what got me even more interested in sound or frequencies is the original 1980s movie of Dune, where the word Moadib with a sound resonator on their hand actually created a sound pulse that could blow holes in sides of mountains and crap like that. Of course, they over glamorized it, but yeah, I always appreciate Mike being around. And also, I saw a study where someone threw out a thesis that, and it's actually being proven daily. And you got to be really into science papers to get this stuff. But gravity is actually not, and it sounds weird, but it's real technical. But simplistically, gravity is not from the spinning of the Earth, like we've been told. It's actually a frequency from somewhere else in space that the Earth is riding on, and that's causing the spinning. Yeah, it's a real, like I said, some real technical, in-depth studies and theses and research papers on frequencies and vibrations. Uh, yeah, we might be going for about another half hour, maybe an hour. Yeah, I'm not. I don't recall what it's called, Mark. But I have read some studies on it, and it was very interesting. Uh, there's this new study. This guy, oh God, name eludes me. I actually know it well right now. I don't know it. A black guy, freaking genius. I mean, makes me feel like well, maybe a sixth grader, not a first grader, but a sixth grader. This guy's genius level. I think there's a good possibility once his theories become more mainstream accepted as reality, we're going to have another Einstein moment in mathematical equations in the next 5 or 10 years, maybe. And that's going to be because they've been trying to, like, Hawking's was pushing string theory, and it's been proven wrong. And there's other theories out there, but they're all being proven wrong. And there's this one guy, this black guy, freaking genius level smart, and his perception of looking at things is what's opened up his theory on math, life, and time, for lack of a better explanation. Yeah, basically, like I said, I think another E equals MC squared mathematical equation moment's coming in probably, if not this decade, early next decade. Pete, you got, hey, you take care, Pete. Thank you very much, my friend. You're probably going to be up for the next hour because you ate that ice cream, though. No sugar rush. Yeah, I've actually seen studies on the Tesla coils where guys set up 3 Tesla coils around maybe a half-acre lake, and maybe 13, 15 foot tall Tesla coils, and they turn all the Tesla coils on, and they'll take a motorized remote control boat, and they'll take the batteries out of the boat and the remote control and still operate the freaking boat with the remote control and with no power. Makes you rethink your theory of well, yeah, no, it doesn't make you rethink any theories. It makes you want to look into other possibilities of other possible pyramidal structures throughout the globe in some sort of a geometrical layout that might possibly be the same as Tesla coil-esque style power grid of free energy throughout the world in the past. Possibly, maybe. Yeah, actually, I have looked into quartz. There's a lot of interesting things about quartz. I haven't really sunk into it. I do know each one has a different, like, frequency or something like that. I haven't really got too much into it, but yeah, I'm aware of quartz and the frequencies that it provides. Yeah, like I said, there's something to it. I haven't done too much research into the crystals. I can't say I have firsthand experienced. Actually, probably one of the first 100 people on this planet that got to experience hexatite after they discovered it in Lasik Volcanic National Park in Northeast California. It was about 15 years ago. Discovery Channel, the day that me and my mom got there, the Discovery Channel was leaving Lasik Volcanic National Park after doing a documentary on what was at that time a new discovery, because everyone knows about stalactites and stalagmites. Yes, Gandalf, about stalactites and stalagmites, either forming upward or downward due to gravity or water rising, whatever. But this is I believe it's called a hexatite, and it is in very few regions of the Earth, mostly where tectonic plates run sideways, and because Lasik Volcanic National Park has old volcanic. Yeah, quiet. It has old volcanic lava tubes that you can go into and other underground caves. They discovered in a quake zone in this area that's exposed of the tectonic plates that are exposed, coming out of the sidewall was this hexatite, which is exactly the same material of a stalactite and stalagmite, but it's coming out of the sidewall and it forms in a circle coming out of the sidewall. It's cool as crap. If I let you back there, are you gonna come back here like a little pussy if you see a mouse? You're acting all bad right now with the door shut, but when the door opened, you didn't come back with a mouse. So I'm kind of curious if you're just putting showboating. Are you showboating? But yeah, if you guys want to look it up, I believe it's called hexatite. Not too many people know about it. Kind of cool in my opinion. Silver is also cool. That's why I did that show that got taken down about the creation of silver, because believe it or not, I also did this other show, and I don't know if anyone put it together. Every 80 years, there's these two dwarf planets up in the, oh, I don't recall the constellation, but every 80 years, like clockwork, they get real close and both of them exert a large explosion. They don't destroy themselves. It's not a super quiet. It's not a supernova. They don't destroy themselves. They go, it's a flash nova or something like that. So it happens every 80 years like clockwork. So by 2026, the night sky will look like day. It'll look like we have two suns for maybe 2 or 3 days that year. So don't freak out and don't believe anyone saying, "Oh, the world is ending. This is happening. It's a sign." Nah, it happens every 80 years. Just so happens the people that are still alive that I doubt at 6 or 8 years old they would remember it that to be a significant. They were probably in bed and didn't even notice it. It's 80 years ago. For you to remember it, you'd have to be at least 85 right now, and you'd have to be well. It happened. You'd be able to see it because of the Earth turning. You'd be able to see it throughout the planet, but not too many people were paying attention to it. 80 years ago, what was that? It was in the end of World War II. I'm almost positive everyone was rip roaring and fucking. I think at that after that, was it 1946? We had over two like 1,500 trucking companies because there was such an excess of deuce and a halves and other military vehicles. They were selling at surplus, hella cheap, and everyone opened up moving companies and were working for themselves. It was a great prosperity time for America. Last time this happened. So that's a good sign if you want to take signs out of it. Last time it happened, America was like prospering huge, and it's supposed to happen before 2026. So we have time to prosper coming up. Yeah, it's and it depends on how you want to look at it. There's also 2,500 year eras, ages, and that's the change of the astrology from the age of Aquarius to the next one. You guys, don't make me come out there and whoop your ass. Sorry, I had to go handle some shit with my cats. Yeah, it's just a transitional period. A lot of people freak out. Whatever. Those that don't freak out prosper because they have understanding of what's going on and can maneuver and position themselves no matter where they are to make a better choices and decisions. I'm not totally well versed, other than I know they're 24 to 2500 year cycles. And supposedly we have a lot more to learn about that. It's in history, but a lot of history was destroyed during the Afghan and war and the ISIS war. A lot of very, very old artifacts and structures were destroyed by the Islamic side of the camp, and it was lost forever to history. So there's a lot that we won't know because someone intentionally destroyed archaic relics that, for those people who ask questions, could have got answers to, can no longer get answers to, because people decide to take mortars, rockets, and AK-47s to these structures and deface them to the point where you can't tell anything. You have to go off old photographs. It's real upsetting for as far as archaeological goes and historical fact-checking stuff. No, we got it won. We got it won. And it's just it's planned, and I'm not sure exactly how it's going to go. I'm almost positive they're not going to force CDBCs on us. What I believe is the CDBC will more than likely be forced on the BRICS nations, because I know for a fact Russia, since the beginning of COVID, has been working with the WEF and the World Central Bank to digitize their whole economy. So I don't see why, if you have a 100% digitized economy and you're Russia, which means the people don't really have any freedoms like we have. So if the government says to do it, they're going to do it. So if they've digitized 100% of their economy, working with the WEF and the central banks, I'm thinking BRICS ain't going to have no currency that's backed with commodities. It sounds exactly like a SWIFT system setup, but it's not controlled by America. It's controlled by Russia and China, and Russia's the lead partner in the whole thing, because the World Central Bank and the WEF worked with Russia to digitize their whole economy. They didn't do that with China or Mexico or India. So since Russia has the governmental structure to be able to force things onto people, I see their side of the aisle pushing the CDBCs while we get the commodities backed dollar, and that'll be the great experiment to see which one will be accepted by people. And the commodities one will win, and that'll put America and all the Western countries, or all the countries aligned with America, along with Middle Asia and Africa and all around the world who are partnered with America, will be big winners, and mixed countries will be big losers. And the only reason I say that is because most every country that's joining BRICS has a government structure that allows them to force things upon their people. And all the countries that aren't joining BRICS have governments more controlled by their people. And I don't think anyone's looked at in the format of what style governments are joining. Because if you have almighty power, let's say it's like Saudi Arabia, well, they're not an almighty power. The average person there, the average quote unquote citizen, is actually a peasant to the royal king. They have a different structure than us. So does most of, look, Mexico. Mexico's not set up like all. They're so double standard, backward ass, third world country. Mexico, the capital city, doesn't and has not had for over 20 years a functioning sewer system. Part of San Diego beaches a couple times a year have to be shut down from the sewage coming from Mexico City when they get too much rain. That's how civilized this country is. Sorry, Mark. I know you're from the Chihuahua Pappins, but I'm just telling it like it is. All the countries that upon their people, whatever that government wants to force upon their people, which Mexico is, it'll happen to them. Yeah, it's a shame, but government, nothing we can do about that. It's there, like you said, it's an evil. Countries are making choices right now. It's not only a choice, it's a country choice. Policies be changed off the choice, which will affect the people. So yes, Mark Cassidy, this is why a bigger vision. The reason why Neil does a lot of Africa is because if you look at the world, Africa has been used as an experiment for governmental and social systems for a long time, not just by the colonial governments, from other governments too. If you see what's going on in Africa, you can get a sense of what's coming for the rest of the world. I did a video about, I think it was the president of Burkina Faso or Niger. It was another president uh, that was breaking away. It wasn't Senegal, but anyhow, his statement was they wanted to break away from us because it was controlled by France. So they're breaking away from Egypt. And the guy said, "We're tired of being slaves, economics to other countries, and want our own monetary system." But he knows that a country's money is its sovereignty. Have a country money, you have no sovereignty. So, by several African presidents, so they're wanting to go to their individual money system, not a uniform worldwide system. And that's why I say, look at who's joining BRICS. Most of the countries that are force a worldwide money system onto their people, because their people in those countries, in Iran, they don't have, Turkey, they don't have rights. In Mexico, really don't have rights. In Venezuela, don't really have rights. All the countries, no one looks at BRICS and says, hey, what are these great countries with all this great GDP? What do they all have in common? Oh, totalitarian governments. Ah, you'll see a different picture. How else should you see? Well, no, they're still going to have a digital system. It'll be the currency system will be for the residents and individuals, not for the countries or businesses. They're coming up with a new SWIFT system. The federal government contract. This is another humorous thing. If you go on a crypto, would you expect to find a centralized government regulated crypto coin on today's cryptocurrency exchanges? Because if you go to a cryptocurrency exchange and look at the companies XLM, Algo, or ADA, also Cardano, all three of those companies, or cryptocurrency coins, or whatever you want to call them, each and every one of them have government contracts. If they have government contracts, they are not decentralized. They are not unregulated. If you know anything about contracting with the government, you are highly regulated and you are very centralized to their regulation. That's so anti-crypto, but yet they're still on a crypto exchange. Isn't that interesting? I find it interesting. No one else finds it interesting because they're making money and they don't give a fuck. But I find it interesting. I mean, I see the rug pulls coming. People are retail people with retail thought process. They're just looking at making money. Oh, I'm gonna make money. But what I just explained to you should frighten the hell out of you if you own crypto. If someone's lying to you, and every exchange out there is the ones lying to you. Why are they doing that? You know? Yeah, I don't know, man. All I know is every 4 years, 1 to 2 people make a lot of money, and 6 or 7 million people lose everything. But it's a good thing. Think about that. Have you ever heard of a person going bankrupt over crypto? Because if you haven't, that's by design. Trust me, hundreds of thousands of people have lost their houses because of crypto. The news is not talking about it. You have to do your own research. That's all I got to say about that one. You're being lied to. It's very, very sad. I had to deal with several people who fucking invested their life savings, their family's future during the last halving. Oh, I invested my family. And I'd have to fucking block them because I talked with the dude, and he's like, dude, man, we can't do that. That was their mistake for doing it. We can't, it'll affect us. So I was like, okay. So I blocked them. It sucks though, man. It happened. It did, whatever. Just be careful, guys. Life's full of choices and decisions. Choose wisely. That's all I can say about that one. Okay, and then as far as hey, what's up, Christopher? What's up, brother? As far as art, your question to prepare. Art, learn a good skill, several of them, whole bunch of them. It could be different languages. People always make money off of languages. Languages, you can make some money if it's not the common ones, like Spanish. Everybody knows Spanish. Learn Arabic, learn Russian, learn something that's a valuable skill. You'll get a job. Welding. A lot of carpenters out there, but carpenter, you can stay busy. And then as far as financially, you want to have, ideally, this is under ideal world. I don't know your financial situation, and I don't I don't want to know your financial situation. I'm going to answer your question in a manner of the best way to prepare is to have your life expenses, however much that is, ideally, have that in silver, platinum, and I will say gold because some people like gold, but most people do. I don't. But have enough to carry you through a year's worth of your expenses is ideal. Now, hear these words. That's ideal. Now, so if you can't get to that right off the bat, that would be what I would consider a target to aim for, to get to that point. If you're talking about food, a good, and we're not talking eating steak and lobster every night, but I mean, the canned tomato soup with some crackers is a good meal with a grilled cheese sandwich. So to have 6 months of food, whatever food is good for you. If you want to go freeze dry that lasts 30 years, that's your personal opinion and perspective. In reality, I believe, in my opinion, I only need a couple months, one season. All I need to do is 3-4 months, a growing season. I can grow a crop. I can grow corn. I can grow things. I can grow tomatoes. I can grow potatoes. I can grow watermelons. I can grow squash. I can grow cucumbers. It takes 3 or 4 months. So I only need enough food for that. And then I got something that I can trade and barter along with my skills. So I have a different scenario than everyone else. What, Joseph? Hey, how's it going, brother? Tomorrow is Constitutional Stacker's birthday. I called him today, got his answering machine. That little son of a bitch. That son of a bitch. He's probably working tomorrow. That's why he's asked me to be here. Yeah, I talk with him every now and then. He's always working. He's always working. But, that's good, Dick. Better than always not working. Always not working sucks. Unless you got a plan. And I have a plan for the next time it happens to me. I just got to get this job 3-4 months. I'll be worst case scenario, I'll be set. Well, not worst case. A very bad case scenario, I'll still be set. Worst case scenario is the whole economy falls apart and no one can cash a page. Skills and languages are always good, man. Never trade your gold and silver for stuff. Trade your skills for gold and silver and stuff. If you have skills growing, grow your own stuff while you go fix other people's stuff. That way you have your own food and you're making money, or gold and silver, and you have your own shit and you're growing your own shit. That's a better position to be in. Okay. I told him he's an old Scrooge McDuck. But he's asleep right now. When did you IG him? He can't be awake right now. But anyhow, anyone want to come up on the panel? Of course, you're more than welcome. Now, if I started talking about that picture that I just put up, I would probably get a strike, or a bare minimum, I would get a climate change statement warning stating that whatever I was talking about is bullshit, and to learn their facts about global warming, not their reality. Yeah, EV cars are fixing to go down here in America, man. Not go away by no means, but they're not the superstar. They're not going to be getting the subsidies, tax break, all that other crap. New technology is just around the corner. Hydrogen, hybrid, biodiesel. The reason why I know this, I'm an iron worker in the Bay Area. There are 5 refineries from 5 different oil companies: Shell, Chevron, 66. Who's that? Vallejo, and I don't recall the 5th one. Anyhow, 2 of the 5 of those refineries quit making fuel for vehicles, for cars, gasoline cars, 2 years ago, and they started making biodiesel. That's an indicator right there, a big one. They're making a fuel, changing it from gas to biodiesel. They bought a lot of platinum to make that happen. Okay, what was my other point? Oh yeah, a video on this. Cummins Diesel is no longer making the Cummins diesel engine that made them famous. I did a video. Their words, they're making a replacement that they're going to try out on. No, they're still making the Cummins diesel, but they're making a replacement biodiesel hydrogen engine used for large 18-wheeler trucks as to be their hopeful new quote unquote Cummins diesel. It'll be a Cummins hydrogen hybrid biodiesel. And they're already putting it in trucks today. So they've already got the assembly line set up for a biodiesel hydrogen hybrid engine power plant for large 18-wheelers to replace the older diesel power plant system they used to be creating and still do, but they're transitioning out of. I think Harvard and Yale. This is what I think of Harvard and Yale. The past, I don't know, I believe 20 presidents we've had have either graduated from Harvard or Yale. If you look at Harvard, what just happened to their president and why? It makes you question all of their research. As far as I'm concerned, go woke, go broke, bye-bye Harvard. Replace it with Oxford. I don't trust nothing that comes out of Harvard. Not even presidents. And by the way, about the legal past, not 20, well, 15 presidents have either come from Harvard or Yale. And those two schools are actually fighting with each other. See you later, art collector. Nobody must piss you off with my viewpoint on Harvard, but they did it to themselves by the professor they had and all of the trouble she allowed to happen, and the way she allowed the students to be taught was not proper at all. And it took too many years to find this out and replace her. Matthew, it has been a while. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Be kind, helpful, grateful. Buy some silver, some platinum, and some crystallized osmium. Sorry I had to say it. Well, if you like them, I suggest watering them. If you're telling us that because it's dry up there where you're at, how's the snowpack? Because you guys get the Santa Ana winds up there. It should be dry. That's why Denver is a mile high and warm. That's the problem. Every news station. That's like I trust CNN, MSNBC, and all this other stuff to say something about. You know, I don't trust them either, bro. That's why it's skeptical. I don't trust MIT. They have some great shit coming out of as far as studies, even more stuff on the dark web. But yeah, they're not good people. But no one will tell you that either. Yeah, yeah. No, the school, there's a lot of good people that are, I don't want to say taken advantage of. That's not really the right word. But misled on a lot of things just because of the name and the actualities of what the name does is they only highlight the good. Let me say that. How's that? That's better. And I'm sure Yale is too. I haven't looked into Yale, but I'm sure it is too. And I know Oxford is because frick, they're a socialist country, man, run by Regal. So I mean, everyone who freaking goes there. This is hierarchy socialist type mindset. And they're very manipulating. You know, that's why all of a sudden you see these Oxford debates. They were like banned for a long time. And now I'm seeing them with Nancy Pelosi on it being fucking roasted. It's, I mean, I don't know. You get to see what schools are trying to sell when you look at the media. And now that they're allowing the Oxford debates back on YouTube and other media, it tells me they're skewing the public's thought process to another manner because I don't trust them either. Hey, what's up, Long Live? So, and again, you know, a lot of people think when I talking crap about Biden that I voted for Trump. That's a misguided thought and an intellectual way of thinking because no, I did not vote for the Republican and I did not vote for the Democrat. I actually voted for myself because I'm a free thinker and I honestly think I can do better than both of them because they have agendas. Mine is freedom of America and the Constitution the way it's supposed to be, and not all this corrupted bullshit that comes with every person in that office, no matter what, whether it's an R, a D, or an I. It does not matter. Even if you look at Congress, the independents and the Green Party guys, it happens to all of them. They become corrupt and skewed, and because their way of thinking, and it's the way of thinking is wrong because of the college they went to, which lead us back to Harvard, Yale, and Oxford. Exactly, Christopher. That's my whole point. So that's why I disagree with all of them, because they're skewed perspectives. It's for power and control and maintaining it. And that's what they turn out. They don't turn out scholars and thinkers. They are scholars and thinkers, but it's skewed. So you don't hit the bullseye with the fucking great mind that's there because it was manipulated. Hey, what's up, Coach Stacker? Yeah, I voted for myself in the past 4 elections, man, because I saw this shit coming, dude. Everyone thinks well, maybe not now, but a lot of people thought I was fucking crazy when I was when I was bringing up fucking Obamacare being a fucking, oh my God, I was ridiculed down at the Union Hall because work was good and everyone fucking loved Democrats. I bring up shit, I get booed out of the fucking building. Nowadays, it's being well, I was right. So, okay, cool. Are they fucking congratulating me for being right? No, they still went down the wrong road and they're not trying to fix it. And people are dying because of it, much less being financially bankrupt. But, you know, no one wants to tackle that worm. I mean, damn, man, I still remember Nancy Pelosi getting up there saying, we got to vote for it before we read it. When the fuck did we ever do that shit in this history? Fucking what? But whatever, you know, it happened. No, there's so much shit that's been going on for so many years. Hell, it's just now being exposed. Congress has a $15 million taxpayer funded slush fund to pay off their fucking sexual harassment lawsuits. So if you want to talk shit about Trump, at least there's not a fucking law that says taxpayers have to pay off his fucking whore. We do for congressmen. Check it out. $15 million every year. It's re-upped. My question to you is, once you figure that out, that I'm not lying and it's factual, is you got to ask yourself one question. How fucking corrupt is that Congress? But yeah, that's why I don't talk about politics. And I shouldn't have gone there. I apologize. No, I'm not saying that if I was ever interested in going back to school, which I damn sure am not, I would love the libraries of all 3 of those schools. But I would get in arguments with every professor from every one of those schools, probably for different reasons. Basically, because none of them are free thinkers, because all of them are skewed thought perspectives towards one direction thinkers. And that's not what college is for. Unless there's lots of money in it, and then power and control, and then, oh, well, hey. Then, you know, well, it is what it is. It's not the system. Well, yeah, it is the system. But see, man. Yeah. Oh my God, yeah. How do you fix it? That's a good freaking question. Possibly scrap everything except for the Constitution, Bill of Rights, and then go to the basic federal responsibilities for federal and leave everything else in state control and roll from there. Because I can tell you right now, if the Fed stepped back a lot, we wouldn't have mandated $1 billion a year going to printing fucking one law in 27 freaking languages every year. You know how much waste that is in paper, in emails, and time, just translating it in 27 different fucking languages. Hold on. When my mama came over this country before I was born, she signed up to be a citizen. It took her 10 freaking years. She had to learn a lot of shit. I learned that shit right beside her because I was real young at the time, and she took me in most of those classes. What's up, Chef? Yeah. I guess I learned a lot of shit I shouldn't have learned. Anyhow, I need to smoke more weed. Anyhow, the basics is be kind, helpful, and grateful. Wherever you lay your hat, because those are the people you got to deal with. So be open-minded enough to be able to deal with people, but still keep your convictions. It can limit you in certain situations and scenarios, but in the long run, if you keep your convictions, it always pays off. At least I don't ever know of one time where it didn't, unless your convictions were, hey, world domination. Then, of course, you deserve not to succeed. Only I can be a world dominator. That's my narcissism coming back out. Sorry, guys. Dude, heck no, you should always be learning. I actually, again, can't freaking wait till I get to a position to get down and get some land, a house on it of my own, because boy, I'll be having languages on tape or whatever it's called playing. I'll be learning languages left, right, and center. Actually, not languages. Areas where I'd be interested in visiting. I'd probably spend a year learning that language and then go visit. You're better received if you understand a majority of the language before you go anywhere. That way they just don't talk about you. Say, that's that dumb American. Take it for all the money you can get from the stupid son of a bitch as they're smiling at you because you don't understand what they're saying. uh, I fall back to the classic believe none of what you see, half of what you hear. And there was something else. What was the? Please stay in chat what it is. There's a believe none of what you see, half of what you hear, and then there's something else after that I don't recall right now. It's a good base to go off of before you listen to anything. It'll make you want to research a little bit to make sure that you're right. And I don't like not being right. personally. I don't know if it's just a pet peeve or whatever, but not being right sucks. I'm not saying it makes you rich or poor, just not being right sucks. I'd much rather be right. I know, I got two little aliens here, Latina and Chloe. 4-month-old little four-legged furry aliens. Ain't that right? Yes, right. You're an alien. You are. You're an alien. Yeah, I got confirmation. I asked her if she was an alien, and she meowed at me. She's an alien. Oh, hold on, wait. Do you have your green card? Oh, she doesn't have a green card. I don't think any of my cats have a green card. Holy shit. I'm housing illegal aliens. But they were born in the USA. That's what it is. Believe nothing of what you hear and half of what you see. I knew it was something like that. Thank you, Irma Crest. Get. Man, cats are ambidextrous. This guy, little guy, tried to steal my cigarettes, and he's like up underneath and to the right, and he still took his paw. I don't think he was actually going to the cigarettes, but he got the cigarettes. You guys ever see that Matthew McConaughey movie where what the hell was that called? Where he's an astronaut and he goes to the black hole, I think it is. I'm telling you, my cats are aliens, bro. They're freaky weird little guys. Get out of here. Get out of there. They're stellar. Thank you, Chef. Yes. Okay. Yeah. That is an explanation at the end of that movie, if you've ever seen it. Not saying it is the explanation. It is just a conceivable explanation. Check this out. I don't know how old you are, Emerald, but what I have to say is this. It's like if you'd have said in the 80s, hey, man, do you think I should buy pork belly futures? I'd have given you the same answer. Hey, man, I can make money off selling dog shit. And I can. Actually, horse shit and cow shit, but shit all the same. And you can make money on it. It's cyclical. It goes on a cycle, a 4-year cycle, so you can actually kind of sort of time it. As much as you can time anything, you can actually kind of time the cycles. So it's actually, barring anything happening, it's a good every 4-year investment. Because it's gonna run flat for 3 years. For 9 months, it's going to go up. For 3-4 months, it's going to go down. Then it's going to run flat for 3 years. Then for 9 months, it's going to run up. 3-4 months, it's going to run down. Then for 3 years, it's going to be flat. So it's cyclical. It's a great way to make money. But if something happens, it is a new way. Just like, it's kind of, I guess, like the stocks when you're doing electronic stocks. The only difference is the regulatory part of it. And that leaves a little skepticalness, but it does have cycles. It has been around for a little bit. So, yeah, you can make money off of it. Good night, long live coins. You can make money off of it, that's for sure. I don't believe the hype of what people are saying it's going to be. I believe that you can make money on it. this year. You won't be able to make money off of it after the second quarter of next year for 3 years. So, you know, that's where all the BTC pumpers and everyone, they'll go quiet again for 3 years. They'll be put in the closet, fucking gathering dust. Then they'll come out and pump it again in a year and a half. Then they'll go in the closet another 3 years. Then they'll come out and they'll pump it again. It's nothing new. You can make money on it. Well, right now, suppose it's low, it might double. But know this, when you go to do any transactions to cash out, make sure you have an avenue to cash out. And what I mean by that is, will your bank accept BTC cash out? Because it's up to your bank. Because BTC is unregulated and the bank is regulated. And this year, they added a regulation to BTC because it's not cash, it's not money, it's another type of asset, and it cannot be leveraged. And that is going to stop BTC from doing its amazing, it's going to 1 million this time, which is what they were saying 4 years ago. But regulation came along on it and, well, kind of tamped it down quite a bit. A lot of the billionaires aren't throwing money at it because you can't throw $1 billion into BTC and leverage it 10 times and take your 1 billion and make it 10 billion and then sell it all back and actually have 10 billion. That's not legal anymore. Telling him I said he's a punk for interfering with my random Wednesday live stream. Keyword random. And he's on. It's like dealing with Nick. Yeah, I got to end this anyhow. It's close to midnight here. I appreciate everyone for showing up. Do hit the like button. Subscribe if you feel like it's something you want to do. Otherwise, who gives a fuck? Definitely be kind, helpful, and grateful. And buy some silver, some platinum, and some crystallized osmium. And I will talk to you guys Sunday. Thank you for showing up. I'll probably hop on Constitutional Stack. It's all cool. You guys have a great evening. Definitely happy Independence Day. Be safe on the 4th. Realize that we have a lot of people in this country that are not supposed to be here, so be safe. Talk to y'all later. Good night.